Welcome back to the podcast. Today, I'm talking to you about something that's very scary for many adoptive parents, and that's aggression. What do you do when your child is aggressive? So, we're going to get tactical. I'm going to give you step by step instructions of what to do to help your child manage their aggression and for you to help them regulate their emotions so it doesn't turn into aggression. So, hang on for the ride. I can't wait to see you on this journey. All right, today, what do I do about aggression? I've heard the fear in some of my parents' voices, the parents that I work with in my therapy practice. They are really worried about how aggressive their child is. They may have gotten in trouble in school, kicked out of preschools, kicked out of elementary school, or maybe even as older kids gotten arrested or, been, sent to, the alternative school. So it's scary. It's scary when your child kicks, when your child hits, when they throw things. They may even hurt themselves as well as other people. So a lot of parents worry that their kids are going to end up being a serial killer. But trust me, no serial killers on my watch, because you're going to know how to manage their aggression so that they can manage their own aggression as they get more self-control and more practice with you. Okay, so let's start with young kids. Okay, the younger a child is, the harder it's going to be for them to manage their emotions. They just don't have the experience. They don't have the patience. They don't have the maturity to be able to identify what they're feeling and to do something productive with it. So instead of using their words as an older child might do, they use their hands, their feet, their little mouths to express the anger. Whatever distress it is, that's how they express it, is with aggression. So they have to have the skills. So we as a team, and that's a team of you, the parents, their teachers, perhaps a therapist or a coach, a treatment team that can help teach your child the skills that they need in order to manage their behavior better. So how do you do this? I'm glad you asked. Make the expectation crystal clear that we do not hurt others. You will need to be very specific with a young child and make it visual, since young ones can't read yet. So if you draw pictures or take pictures for magazines and make a poster of this, it's really important that they're able to see it. I can't stress to you how important it is to make a visual representation of your expectation that no aggression is allowed in the home. So I want you to make a poster. I want you to hang it on the wall, and I want you to make it the first and most important rule. Number one, keep arms, hands, feet, and things to yourself. No hurting others. That is rule number one. And again, if your child can't read yet, I want you to show a picture of what is not allowed. Number two, let me go back to something. Just because, the rule is there, you got to read it, and you need to read it repetitively with them every day. Practice the rule by reading it every day when you guys get up in the morning. Look at the pictures that represent that rule or that behavior expectation every day and act it out. Have fun with your kids. I want you to act out with them the wrong way to do the expectation. And did I say the wrong way? The wrong way, that's funny. You and husband can be funny with that, showing the wrong way to behave, and then have the child practice the correct way of behaving, okay? So practice, 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 and make it fun. Number two, when the child hurts someone, now this is, remember, you're making a list of behavior expectations. The first rule will be, again, we don't hurt other people, okay? But now I want to talk to you about if they do hurt someone, what do you do? What consequences make sense here? So when your child hurts someone, immediately validate. This doesn't mean you're condoning, by the way. Validate what they're feeling and refer to the expectation that's on that poster. Even if you're in the car and the poster's not around, you know what rule number 1 is. I want you to refer to it, okay? So I want you to validate their feeling. For example, you're in the car and your child hits their younger sibling. You stop the car, pull over, and say, Bonnie, you're so angry that you broke expectation. Number 1, keep hands to yourself, no hurting others. It's okay to be angry, but this is what you should have done. Show Bonnie what to do instead, okay? When we are angry, we say, I'm angry, so I should calm down. So you have to show them the right way, or they're not going to learn it. Remember, the right way is on the poster. You also practice it every day as a family. But when they break the expectation, you got to show them again how to do it right. Kids need repetition. I don't care how smart your kid is, they need repetition. Adults need repetition. So you got to repeat these skills so that they really become internalized, okay? So again, when they hurt someone, immediately validate that anger. You are so angry. And then you have to refer to the rule. Oh, but you broke expectation number 1 about not hurting others. And then again, you have to show them what they should have done instead. They should have said that they were angry and they need to calm down. All right. So now show Bonnie what to do. When we are angry, we say, I'm angry, so I should calm down. Then say to them, okay, Bonnie, let's take 3 deep breaths together like this. So I like to use ice cream in a bowl. Okay. Have them smell the ice cream in the bowl by taking a deep breath in. Now, see your ice cream starting to melt. I want you to blow on your ice cream before it melts. Do that several times. Breathe in your ice cream through your nose and then blow on your ice cream so it doesn't melt. Do that as many times as necessary. 3 is probably good. So show them how to take those deep breaths, okay? Now, you're going to ask Bonnie if she feels calmer now. Take more deep breaths of ice cream if she's not calm enough yet. Once she is, ask her how her little sister felt when she hit her. If she struggles to answer that, say, she was really sad because she started crying. Poor sister. This builds empathy. So you always want to talk about how the victim felt when they were hurt. We want to build empathy in our kids. So we have to actually teach them that sometimes. Not all kids are naturally empathetic, especially if they, maybe on the spectrum, or, have some kind of attachment disorder, which is common with adoptive and foster children. So you have to actually, teach them some empathy. So show them, that little sister didn't like being hit. Okay. Now, you can role play now by pretending to be Bonnie and apologize. So you as mom are going to pretend to be Bonnie and you're going to apologize to little sister so she sees what it looks like. Sister, I'm sorry I hit you. Now have her copy what you just did. Now, this method taught over and over will be much more effective than punishing by yelling, taking some reward away, or hitting the hitter. I know that there are some parents that spank. I was one of them. I have to admit, my parents spanked me. I used to spank my kids before I realized that, if I'm trying to correct aggression with aggression, what exactly am I teaching them? So instead of being aggressive with our voices by raising them or with our hands, show them, model with them how to calm themselves with deep breaths, but also how to express their anger with words rather than with aggression. All right, so the key to remember here is that you as the adult must stay calm. I know this is hard, especially when our kids are fighting and our kid that may be the aggressive one is hurting someone again and you're in the car or you're out in public. Believe me, I know how hard it is to stay calm, but it's really, really important that you stay calm because if you're in your fight, flight, freeze brain, your survival brain, and your kid is also there, you've got 2 people in this fight flight mode and nothing productive is going to happen. So you have to be the one who's calm and who's regulated. So you've got to stay calm. You are going to want to punish and show little Bonnie what a bad choice she made, but Bonnie is in her downstairs brain. Like I said, fight flight. So reasoning with her Yelling, lecturing, none of that's going to work because she's not in a logical place, okay? She's in a very emotional survival brain place. So being logical is not going to work, okay? However, validating her anger, telling her it's okay to be angry, but showing her what to do instead of hitting will be much more effective. Okay, if you lose your cool, she will probably get even more upset and may hit you next. Okay, so try to stay calm, and if you need to take some deep breaths, maybe pray, ask the Holy Spirit to intervene before you try this. That's what I suggest. You got to be calm. Okay. Now, I know this is a tough one for small kids, but you may be wondering about your older child who is aggressive. Now, just because a child may be biologically 10 due to the traumas they may have experienced in utero or after birth, it may make them developmentally age 5 or 6. The same skills need to be taught to an older child. Since they can cause more harm as they become stronger, the role playing will need to show consequences as well. For example, act out what will happen if they hit the wrong kid. The kid might punch them in the face, for example. Y'all can do a fun role play of that, okay? They may get kicked out of school, be arrested, and lose their freedom in a juvenile facility or treatment center. The expectation still needs to be crystal clear that aggression is not allowed, but offer logical consequences once you and they are calm. Remember, if they're in downstairs or the fight-flight brain, you must meet them where they are by validating their anger until they calm down. Once calm, they will be able to take in the logical consequences that you have for them, using aggression instead of their words. Now, if these techniques don't work, I strongly suggest you reach out to a play therapist for kids age 3 to 10, or an adolescent therapist for an older kid who knows a lot about adoption and trauma. They also need to know cognitive behavioral therapy. They may know some trauma therapies like EMDR, brain spotting. A therapist that's adept with working with the whole family is really good too, because adoption is not just that child's issue, it's the whole family's issue. And the whole family needs to be heard and validated, and they need guidance on how to have a happy, healthy family and be able to, manage their own emotions in a difficult thing like adoption. So a family therapist is excellent because they work with mom, dad, the adopted child, and the siblings. Whether the siblings are adopted or not, it's important to have that whole family, being treated. Really, really important. So if you need to find a therapist, the easiest way to do it is to go to psychologytoday.com. If you're in the United States, that's www.psychologytoday.com. There you can plug in where you live. You can put in your zip code. You can put in what insurance you use, different types, different age groups that the therapist works with. You can look for a Christian therapist. You can look for a therapist that has trauma or adoption expertise. It's an excellent tool all over the country to help you find a great therapist. Now, if you're out of the country, the best thing for you would be to go to your health insurance's website and look for therapists that take your insurance. If you're private pay, that opens up the doors to a lot more therapists. So I would just do a Google search of therapists in your area. There aren't a lot that specialize in adoption, but if they specialize in trauma and family therapy, and if they work with really young kids using play therapy, those will be good as well. But you do want to share with them the unique things about adopted kids that I've been sharing with you, because they don't know it. I didn't know about the nuances of adopted families until I got training. I had to get trained on it. So encourage the therapists that you decide to work with to get some more training on working with adoptive families for them to be best prepared to treat your family. All right, so that's it for today. So I just want to thank you so much for joining me today for this really, really important topic of aggression. If you have any questions about raising your adopted child, email them to me at ligia@faithful-futures.com, and I'll answer your questions on the show. Tell me if you want to remain anonymous, and I won't say your name. Check out also my Facebook group for Christian adoptive moms. Also on my website, I have a 7-day video devotional for busy adoptive moms. And I just want to thank you for answering the call to adopt. Jesus loves you, and so do I.